Hey guys, welcome to RPG a Day, Day 10. Favorite tie-in fiction, with fiction being the bolded word. Um, I gotta be honest, I don't really know what tie-in specifically means. So I'm just gonna talk a little bit about the fictions. I don't know if this means like the fiction that is the setting, but they didn't say favorite setting, and so I think maybe that's optional. Maybe that's favorite story that comes out of settings, like all those, you know, Dragonlance books way back in the day. I say way back in the day, but I know they're actually still being produced. So I don't know exactly what they mean by this. So let me just give some shout outs, okay? Um, two two setting lores have made me potentially physically like because I want to play them so bad, even though I've only done one of them. And that's the lore setting behind Earth Dawn and the lore behind Dragon Age. Um, like the nation by nation or country by country building in Dragon Age was really really good. Dragon Age the system fell a little flat for me. It didn't stumble and break its nose on the fall, but it wasn't as free in character building. Like you had to kind of stick to tropes and plans a bit too much for me. But but the setting, I really liked the setting, and I'm in a game right now that's being run by somebody else, and they're starting it near the end of the fourth age, beginning of the fifth age. If that's right, like I think Dragon Age Origins, the video game, is fourth age. Um, and so like there's been that war where the about the Chantry and the mages, which changes the landscape. But I guess that was the topic of Dragon Age Inquisition. I never played any past Origins. Um, so good world development, building stuff. That's interesting. And Earth Dawn with just the open landscape for adventuring and the possible horrors out there, um, and just how you got there was like that whole background history that happened like thousands of years before. Not too many thousands of years before, maybe just 1,000 years. I don't remember the specifics, right? But when the guy was doing the research and found out that magic was increasing and that the horrors were going to come and that it would destroy civilization and they had to figure out some way to save it. Like that was just a super interesting story. Unfortunately, though, that super interesting story is backdrop, right? Because game as intended is after that. Nothing says you can't go back and play that earlier. Um, though I think you'd have to ask, well, then would all the characters have this such strong magic if magic was still growing? Whatever, you do you. Um, I know that there is a rule/slash setting system out there somewhere, probably adapted for play into a D20 system or something like that for Anne McCaffrey's Dragon Riders of Pern. If you don't know Anne McCaffrey or Dragon Riders of Pern, she was the first female author to win the Hugo Award, which is a science fiction award, literature award. I think she won it in 1975 um, for Dragonflight. I love this series of books. I still haven't read anything that was carried on by Todd, her son, or her daughter. Um, and I introduced my wife to this. We read when we travel out loud. Like one of us will read. Usually, I read out loud to her. That's also how we got through Harry Potter. She read that out loud to me. Um, and we're going through all the Rivers of Prime, which is kind of the end of it. I plan on kind of stopping from there, and maybe we'll do some other things. Um, but I love the setting. She does a great job of featuring both men and women, which not all the female authors did. I read some pretty heavy-handed stuff that I didn't enjoy. Um, and and of course dragons, right? Dragons. You know I love dragons, right? And them being intelligent and connected to their writers. Love that. Never played anything in that setting. This is another one of those places where I don't know that I want to touch role playing in that setting because it's never going to be quite as good as what I read, I feel like. There's plenty of stuff going on out there that could be going on outside, but I don't think any of it's going to feel as epic. And there's plenty of passes that you could place the game in other than the one that the main game takes place, or the main books takes place in, or the First Fall, which is for Dragon's Dawn, which is the prequel book that she put out. I think that was the 7th book that she put out. So I've never wanted to really play in that, but if that would be considered tie-in fiction, I really love that. I'll pause for a second to try to do some more thinking, but I can't really think of anything off the top of my head, and I think I'm going to wrap this one up. It's already over 6 minutes, so I will see you guys later.